Welcome back. This is Tabletop Templar, and we're going to unbox another booster box of Star Trek customizable card game. Uh, this is the third expansion, the Continuum. And for this video, I'm going to split up into two parts. I've realized that the previous videos were kind of long. An hour is maybe a bit much to ask, so we're going to just do two parts. So if you only see the one part, just wait a little bit and you'll catch the second part. I'll upload that pretty quickly. So, alright, let's get into this. So the Q Continuum, this introduces the Q side deck into the game, and it's kind of adds a little bit more interesting rules. And so so you're going to see a lot of these Q specific cards in this set. So they're really expanding upon the original rules. I do like this box. And oh, we got a this is different. We didn't have this in the previous boxes. This is a complete rules supplement. That's cool. And here we have the card list. Okay. So I wonder if the other sets will do this as well. Let's put this down. Push it up. Don't want to break it. There we go. There's Q. Alright, so I know some of these are more going to be desirable. So the ones we're going to be looking for are going to be Data's Body. That is I think that's like a ultra rare. And Immortal Q. It's got the stars next to the rare. Those are going to be the big ones that we're going to look for. After that, then I think the other one I do want is the Stargazer. And honestly, any of these rare ships I would take as well. But the Stargazer, that was Captain Picard's original command. So I wouldn't mind the Stargazer. Yeah, Data's Body and Mortal Q are the two big ones. And then the Stargazer, and then after that, it's, there's Pulaski and Keiko O'Brien. There's some others. I think, oh yeah, where's that one other personnel? What's his name? Oh, I can't remember. It's the Cardassian who imprisons. Yeah, let's get into it. Imprisons Picard, who tortures him. He's in this set. He's a rare. Can't remember his name, but I know he's in here, and wouldn't mind getting him as well. But yeah, so those are the ones we're looking for. So wish me luck. And I think it's the same, the fourth card is still the rare. So we're still doing 15 cards. So Klingon, Stick. There's the first Q card, Guilty. We got Robin Leffler, and the rare is, I think this is the rare, Utah. I think so. Let me double check. I'll go back and look just to make sure. Yeah, Q is a doctor. Into the Breach, Antimatter Pod, Scottish Setter, trying to get to focus. Or Gibson. Serpent. There's Barkley. But it's not, it's plexing. Q interrupt. Nebula. Now they're starting to introduce some generic. Focus, please. There you go. Nebula. Some generic car. I think there's generic space and nebula, so you can include multiples of these. Military privilege. So let me double check and see if the Utah is in the dilemma. And yep, it's a rare. So yep, it is still the fourth card. Just wanted to double check. So right back to it. So still doing the same, next generation, and it's still the blue packs. But I think this is the last set that will be the blue packs. After this, they go to their own design, I believe. John Doe. I'm trying to get these to focus. I don't know if this is interfering with its ability to focus. Yeah, it doesn't. Let me get this out of the way, so that way it'll focus properly. Yeah, it was trying to focus on the Q Continuum. Okay, this is better. Sorry about that. Ves Alcar. Guilty. Provisionally, and the rare is Madame Guinan. Well, it's from it's an alternate universe Guinan. Interesting. All right. I don't know if that's one of the ultra rares or not, but so we'll go. Ooh, look at the text on this. Look at that. Look at this one. It's smudged. It's completely, you can barely read this. The printing on this is totally smudged up. I've never seen that. Huh. I hope we don't get any more smudged cards. Interesting. This is military privilege. I think it's a common. Thankfully, it wasn't a smudged up rare or anything. Gift of the Tormentor. Q events. And you're still getting the alternate universe. So there's still including some. So that way, for those who got the previous set, you can still. Android. Zoom type Android. That's what Data is, but this is a generic version of them. And yeah, a doorway. And this is where you can build your Q side deck. And you can include these Q cards. So it's yet another kind of rule, kind of a radical rule change. Very different compared to the other Decipher CCGs. Like I said in previous videos, I played a lot of Star Wars. I have tons of Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. The sets never radically changed the game. This was one of the earlier ones, but each of these sets, it just adds a completely different dimension to the game. And then the previous set, it had Royale Casino blackjack. Well, this adds craps. So it's yet another game you can gamble, so to speak, on. Federation officer. Romulan ship, and then we got a Galen. So it's okay. So it's Picard undercover. Interesting. That's cool. Jean-Luc Picard went undercover in 2370, posing as a mercenary and artifact smuggler. Does not work with Federation affiliation. Interesting. That's cool. And Amanda's parents. Antimatopod. It's a generic nebula. End transmission. A lot of cue cards. Of course, this set's called Q Continuum, so why would there be, why wouldn't there be so many cue cards? So yeah, just interesting. Did anyone play with these new rules, the alternate universe or Q Continuum much when they played back in the day? Penalty Box, Android Nightmares. Man, we had this last one, and the rare is it's a Dilemma. Wow. Security precautions. I didn't really like that episode. I thought that was kind of one of the worst Q episodes, where there's like the pigmen in kind of Napoleonic uniforms. That was a fun episode though. The band, but yeah, I think he was offering Riker. Oh, and here we go. We have a generic colony card. And Riker declined to be part of the Q Continuum. He was offering him a chance to become one of them, and Riker declines. And meh. Not the greatest episode. Okay. It's a couple Klingons. And the rare is a Romulan, what is it? Terex. Nice. This was on my list of I didn't mention this, but I looked at the list ahead of time. I kind of wanted one of these. Wouldn't mind one. And here's the generic space course, the Final Frontier, and it counts as a half card. May insert into spaceline. X equals 3 plus the number of adjacent generic locations. So you could theoretically, stretch things out a little bit. I think this is a common too, so we're going to get several of these. And the nebulas. Data's metals, and of course we got another space. So yeah, we're going to end up with quite a few. Q Flash, this is a doorway that lets you build your side deck of Q cards. And then yeah, there's another alternate universe. I think actually I just read this. William Riker, vested with the Q powers, created an ideal mate for Lieutenant Worf. So I think he turned down the powers. I don't know if that's an alternate timeline. That must be where he got them. K-List. Where's Guinan? 0, and the rare is Calamaran. Okay. I think I remember that. Oh yeah, that's the episode. Yeah, that attacked Q, the Calamarans, for he tormented them, and when he became human, they or space, they came after him. Much to Guinan's amusement, I'm sure. So yeah, these sets of alternate universe and Q Continuum are really just kind of expanding upon the next generation. Um, as you'll see in the other sets, they start to move on to Deep Space Nine, and several of them, and Voyager, and then in Trouble with Tribbles, also they include the original series. So this is going to be the last purely specific next generation. It even still says next generation. This is the last set that's just next generation. As we'll go to the next one, which I think is. I'll have to look what the next is in the line I'll be opening. That will start to have a mix of not just next generation. So Wesley gets the point. I just saw this episode. I was just rewatching this one. That's cool. Scores bonus points if killed by an attack in which you do not retaliate. Very thematic. 10 points. Yeah. Cool. And the rare is Arbiter of Succession. Yeah. Picard decides who should be the Klingon next High Council. And more rare commons. That's cool. I like that. I appreciate getting that one. It's cool seeing. That's the cool thing about this game and about Star Trek is that there's so many episodes, so much content to make a card game from. That was sort of my complaint about the Star Wars game is that you really just there's only well until the prequels came out there was only the three and that CCG was based on until that they did a set on episode one, well I think a couple sets, but that was at the very end. But for the vast majority of the game, it was based on just the original three, and there's only so much characters cards you can make from it. Whereas this, there's every episode they can take characters and items, and they can make all kinds of cards and missions from it. There's so much information available to make from, so it really works well as a card game. Versada Yale. And the rare is Storage Capsule. Event. And Generic Nebula. Flexing, Incoming. And Transmission. Q Flash. Swim type Android. Doornet. Planet. Off switch. Yep. I think I like this set a little bit better compared to the alternate universe. I was really disappointed with alternate universe. There's so many events and interrupts, very few characters. I kind of regret getting that one, but I like this one a little bit better. I think the other sets will be much, much better because they introduced a lot of characters. So we got Samuel Clemens, aka Mark Twain. It's uncommon. So first three are uncommon. His Honor, the High Sheriff of Nottingham. That was kind of a fun episode. Cute. And the rare, it's a mission. Investigate legend. Verify existence of fabled utopian planet hidden behind powerful cloaking device. Any faction can do it. And Chinese finger puzzle. Trust me. And we'll go through the commons. Student type Android. You see a lot of duplicates. And we get a Klingon ship. The Katinga class. This is from the original series. This one's a sleeper ship. So, reports at the end of the space line with up to 3 personnel. Doesn't have a lot of great stats, but interesting. It's kind of cool. Barber pole. It simply plays on table. That's all it does. Interesting. I'm sure there's stuff to do with it. Yeah, there's craps. And the rare is Terrace. Taurus or Terrace. Captain of the Warbird investigated the Federation incursion in the neutral zone. That's cool. And we'll go through these. Antimatter pod. Gibson. At least get some more generic, characters in generic space. Timothy, romantically all involved with Loaxana Troy. That's Deanna Troy's mom, or that she is. Must submit to the resolution at age 60. I think he has to die. It's been a while since I've seen that one. Wow. Robin Leffler. Immortal again. And the rare is an artifact. Blade of Takan. Immediately relocate any one planet location. All cards there to a different place. Wow. That's cool. And the commons. Got a lot of these already. Nice. I always liked, for the Star Wars CCG, just reading the flavor text, and you learn so much about Star Wars from it. I would just sit there and just read it. I wouldn't even try to build a deck or anything. Maybe I would start trying to build a deck, but then I would just end up reading flavor text all day for a whole afternoon. It was just fun. It was like maybe 2-3 sentences, of text, and you learn a lot, and then you just keep reading and reading, and you learn about the Star Wars lore. It's really cool. Most card games these days don't really do that as much, or if they do, not as detailed. CCG, or I'm sorry, CCG, Decipher CCGs did a lot. Lord of the Rings would incorporate also text from the books, or they would just write their own kind of summary of it. Tilak. Oh, we got him again. It's uncommon. And the rare is a mission. Paxon Wormhole. and they're starting to add stuff that everyone can do. I think the complaint when Next Generation came out is that they had these too specific missions that it's like, well, why can't the Romulans do this? Like, it doesn't seem like they're, why would they be prevented, or really anyone? And they're starting to get they're adding more generic kind of locations. Build on any planet mission you completed, so you already have to complete one. Any away team unopposed here at the start of its owner's turn scores 1 point for each personnel, 2 for each civilian. Well, that's cool. It's like you're generating points for after you complete a mission and populating it with civilians. Really neat. And it does kind of force conflict too, because your opponent's like, not gonna let you sit there and collect points. They're gonna have to send ships over there to fight, to kick you off there, so you don't keep collecting points. Oh, okay, him again now. Frigid. I don't mind more of these, but man, that's now 3 of these in a row. The rare. Oh, it's gonna be Data's body. Tarman. Okay. Once per game, may glance at the cards in any one side deck. Okay. For 10 seconds. That's another thing to decipher. They had these weird quirks for the games. They would have cards that would say, glance at someone's hand for 10 seconds, or glance at this deck for 20 seconds. It required someone to have a clock, or to count seconds. It's just, I don't know, it's just kind of weird coming from a more modern, standpoint, to force players to have a stopwatch or something. I don't know how they handled that. I mean, they must have had a referee or a judge. They had to, that's just interesting. Games, you don't really do that kind of stuff anymore. Where's Guinan? His Honor, the High Sheriff. Mordock. Yep. And the rare? Oh, it's a mission. Plague Planet. Alright. Pretty basic. Oh yeah, if you solve you automatically overcome plague ships. So, and here's the commons. Sure, you can pause it if you want to read some of these space. So, probably this will be my last one, and then of this video, and then I'll pause it, and then I'll do the part 2. Karen Briannan. Transfiguration. Leslie gets the point in the rare. Paul Mannheim. Interesting. Okay. Don't have them, so I'll take it. My biggest pet peeve of this, or biggest gripe, I should say, is getting multiple rares in the same box. I just don't. To me, that's kind of unacceptable. But I complained about it in the last unboxing for Alternate Universe. So I'll try not to do that anymore for distribution as well. I think they've sorted out the distribution. I haven't noticed too many of the same commons in the same pack anymore. I think that would really drive me crazy if you buying these individually. Maybe if you're pocket change or whatever, you're a kid or a teenager or really anyone, a college student, and you're in the 90s and like, oh, I'll okay, hey, I'll buy this for, I don't know how much this cost, maybe $3. I think back in the day, I think that was usually the going rate for a single pack. And you pay the shopkeeper and you get it, and then you get multiple, or maybe even buy, a couple, and then imagine getting two of the same rares back to back. And then not only that, but within the pack, getting multiple commons in the same pack. And then there was one pack in the previous set where two, I had two pairs of same commons, like two yellow alerts and two something else, and this in one pack of 15 cards. That's just honestly unacceptable, and I think that would really have, turned me off a little bit, but that's how it was. It seems like it's gotten better. I can tell some improvement, but I think the real we'll be able to tell if we get any multiple rares. This is the rare stack. This is the um, cards that I have. So, all right, I'm gonna pause it here, and I'll pick it up for part two in the next video. So, if you like this, go ahead and hit like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.